Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. We just reached a year in Jack and Lily's case. And really, today, we still have no idea where they're at. But are the RCMP moving on this case? I believe yes. And the inconsistencies with the parents keep piling up. Also, we are learning that allegedly Daniel threw away all of Jack and Lily's toys in the garbage. A lot to talk about on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face.
Are you with me?
They called me too loud, too much, too strong. But honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. Shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me stand. I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul.
Jesus, Glenn.
Lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul. Through the fight and flame, my scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my
It's Angelina.
clutch them pearls.
Who's ready, mother chickens?
Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Miss Susie, it's probably a button with the volume on it too. Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere, and I mean anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. And your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me and my friends here. Come on, the water's fine. Today is May 6th, 2026. It is currently 8:50 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Good to see you, everyone. Tonight we're talking about the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case. Jack and Lilly, of course, vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. Look at those little darlings right there. And here's the thing. In my opinion, this never happened on their own accord. That is for sure, in my opinion. And tonight we're going over some interesting things. Um, yeah, very interesting things. I was listening to, I think it's Shan earlier, and while I was getting ready for this live stream, and she was talking about some things that she had learned on there at the vigil and all that. And I had heard this before, but it's alleged that Daniel and has allegedly threw out pretty much all of the toys of the kids. And I think this happened quite some time ago, in my opinion, and we'll get into all of that. But you know, they sure were cleaning up outside, weren't they? They sure were cleaning up outside. So tonight we're going to go over some more things that Daniel has spoken about in the recent and in the more distant past, but how, in my opinion, it all ties together. Daniel is he's known as the stepfather of Jack and Lilly Sullivan. He is technically not the stepfather. He is technically the mother's boyfriend that they lived together. They had a child together, and but in the media, he is known as Jack and Lily's stepfather. Um, by the way, tomorrow I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, if not in the next couple days. I am going to be doing, and Daphne might join me for this as well. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to be doing a call in show. And I want you guys to give me because you guys know I don't really support either one of Daniel or Malaya. I think they're both equally, you know, I believe they know what happened. But on one day I'm going to be I want the Daniel supporters to come in here. I want them uh, to not be scared, to be in the background. Um, and I'm going to be taking calls. And I want them to give me your best argument, if you will. Not like an argument, but just as a way of talking. I want you to give me your best argument on why you think Daniel would not be involved. And then I'm going to do the same for Malaya. the people that support Malaya. If you support her, give me your best argument to why you think she doesn't know anything. And that way, yeah, more of a debate. Yeah. And that way we can understand maybe more from each other. Um, because, I've been on this case since day one, and I want to talk through it through with some of these people. I truly do. It's not that um, nobody's going to be mean, rude, disrespectful in any way, shape, or form, but I really want to have that dialogue with people who support Malaya, like fully support Malaya, and people who support Daniel or support one more than the other. Um, because I personally don't see it. And, they might make me think a little bit differently. I might make them think a little differently. I don't know. Um, but you guys know where I stand on it. Um, but I think it's a healthy discussion. I really do. Um, what if you support neither? Well, I mean, I don't at all. I don't. I'm here for Jack and Lily. I'm not here for the buffoonery or the BS of it. The politics of who likes who and who doesn't like who. It's not about us. It's about the case, the kids. That's what we're here for. So, but I really would love to hear um, anyone on that. Um, so yeah. Guys, before we get started, if you would be so kind, please do me a big favor and hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, if you would consider sharing this live stream out, hit that share button, copy that link, drop it in any of your favorite social media. Also, if you would consider hyping this video, you get 3 hypes a week. If you don't use it, you lose it. And the more you participate in chat, the more points you rack up. And yeah, it helps very, very much. I believe Janie needs to speak forth. I agree. I agree. I think Janie could be a major help in this case, but I think where she is at, this being her son, it's probably not going to happen unless the RCMP involves her in any way. That's all I'll say. Um, all right, guys. So yeah, a lot to talk about this evening. Miss Magdalena, thank you so very, very much. Thank you for your support, my darling. Good to see you, Miss Magdalena. Super sticker. Thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate you. And Miss Old Garden Gal, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Really do appreciate you very much. Thank you, thank you, my love. Good to see you. And I invite all creators here for that as well. I think that we are at a point in a lot of in this case with creators that we're just talking past each other right now and trying to make our points of why we support or believe one of them more than the other. And I truly don't believe either of them because they have the same story of the morning. And this is going back from day one, right? Um, so how do I think the kids passed away? Um, I think it could be two different ways, in my opinion. I think that either someone snapped or there was fighting that evening, and the kids were very hyper that evening. They weren't going to sleep. Um, there was tension in the house, lots of tension. And I think that they were either someone snapped because they weren't going to sleep, there was fighting, all of that. They took their frustrations out, or they were given something to make them sleep. Um, Something far stronger than their little systems could happen. Um, and Perhaps when 12 or 12:30 came along, or maybe even earlier, they were found. Yeah. So, but I don't believe that Jack and Lily walked away. I don't believe they were probably alive after midnight. There's nothing more in this world that I hope that I'm wrong about. Uh, Nobody wants to think that, but we got to be real about it as well. So, all of that stuff. JJ, thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate you, JJ. Good to see you. Thank you so much, my loves. How you doing? I always love your picture. It's so cute. Thank you so much, JJ. Good to see you. Let me say hello to a few of you guys in chat. Shy, thank you so much. All we know about the mom is that she spoke out once. That was it. She hasn't been in the public like them all spreading BS. That is true. That is true. I think Malaya is more intelligent in that area. Um, of course, she's going to get probably criticized for not speaking up for her kids. But I don't believe she spoke up for her kids probably in the last year or two, or certainly the last probably 6 months of Jack and Lily's lives when they were alive. So I don't really expect much of it now, to be quite honest with you, because I think it might, in my opinion, again, she hasn't been named a suspect or anything, but I think it could, if she is involved, could incriminate her. So yeah, good to see you, Shy. Bella, thank you so much. Good to see you. Miss Sherry, Miss Mama. Hello, Patriot. Bonjour. Miss Linda Green Eyes. Good to see you, my friend. Michelle. Hello. Thank you so much, my friend. Good to see you. Miss Sherry. Good to see you. Robin. Miss Mama. Cool J. Difference is there is much less data to go on by with Malaya. We have no idea that what she is saying to the RCMP as of late. Correct, Cool J. And again, I think that she's probably worked with the RCMP. I agree. I think she probably has worked with the RCMP. And if she has, great. Whatever gets Jack and Lily home, and gets at least someone held accountable. But I do believe there will be more than one person probably. Justin, the blue collar looks really nice on you. Well, thank you so much. Just me. Appreciate you. Miss Joyous, good to see you, Mamacita. Thank you so much for being here. Baby Monkey, hello, darling. Good to see you. Robin, hello. Mama 3, Miss Sherry, Robin, Susan, Susanna, good to see you, my friend. I wonder if we will ever know. Yes, we will. We will. Absolutely. Old Garden Gal, thank you so much again. I think we are all so frustrated. We are. We are, because people shouldn't be lying on a 4 and a 6-year-old, right? And they shouldn't have had the hard life that they had. Life is hard enough, and just the neglect and everything that they went through, unacceptable, unacceptable. And that's why I think they're both really bad people, in my opinion. Shy, good to see you. Thank you so much. Me and you, how you been, darling? So good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. Um, yeah, thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. Patriot Girl, MBM has a history of giving kids stuff to make them sleep. Um, maybe, maybe. I've not seen that myself. Um, but this is the thing. This is the thing. I know, and again, I don't think everything that happened to Malaya was okay in that house. I don't. What is, I think that she's probably went through some really bad things in that house. And I think she was isolated and all of that. But I think she had a lot more resources to a lot more other people. And she had no problem getting resources, i.e., money, from her grandmother, um, and that kind of thing. She left for a while, come back, left, come back kind of thing. But I don't think Jack and Lily would be missing, in my opinion, if it wasn't for the guy in the house. The guy in the house. And if you will look at consistently the inconsistencies, the statements, and what the RCMP, who they have seemingly interviewed more than anybody else, right? More than anybody else. Who have they interviewed just about more than anyone else? Daniel. You look at their words. This comes from Daniel himself, the RCMP cadaver dog guys. Daniel, we think you did something to the kids Thursday night. Yeah. Right? So, but again, Malaya, she didn't have to, they had the same story for quite some time, right? And when she left, she didn't go to the RCMP and say, listen, I was scared. I left there. I got away. This is what happened to Jack and Lily. Let me help you. She didn't do that. So I don't think she's that great of a person either, to be honest with you. One second, guys. Apparently he was talked to again Monday by the RCMP. Well, okay. So, I know that they talked to Daniel Friday, and from what I understand, they were allegedly they talked to him Friday, and I've heard that they talked to him Monday as well. But I know for a fact that they talked to him Friday. I know that for a fact that they did talk to him on Friday, for sure. But it wouldn't surprise me if they talked to him Monday. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. Hey Brian, good to see you. Good to see you. Hey Lori, Debbie, this could have been prevented. Malaya knew what she was doing. Shame on her. Yeah. I agree. So, we're going to start with our friend Charmaine, where Daniel was on there the other day. We still haven't got through all of it. We're not going to go through all of it. The rest part, we're going to go through some of it. But I have some more stuff that we're going to kind of talk about with what Daniel said. I've been pulling up receipts of where Daniel will, again, in my opinion, based upon things that happened before court with Daniel, and then him doing this interview I believe that he got himself in more trouble. I really do. I think that there was some things that he said on there that he violated, and it's just it's stupid. But it's so stupid to be speaking about a case um, or anything that could get you in trouble, Daniel. But it just, again, I say it all the time, but it just shows you what the ego does to a person and how they think. But Daniel is a very short term thinker, very short term thinker. And hey, Pictou, good to see you. Hey, Cher, good to see you, honey. Meredith, everyone rolling in here. Hello. He was paying for a good lawyer. He would have told to stop talking. But here's the thing, you can have a good lawyer, and if you don't follow their advice, it's pointless as well. I've seen people on here have attorneys. They tell them to shut up or have someone around them to stop talking. They can't help themselves. And you're like, listen, if I have an attorney, you're not going to hear me say a syllable. It's just a little self control. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you, Miss Doreen. Very kind of you, honey. Thank you so much. Astro says he can't help himself. The more he speaks, the more he thinks he looks innocent. Well, he tries to clear up his lies. He tries to clear them up whenever he's said 700 other things, and all of the things can't happen, right? Especially when they're on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's really embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. I don't see how he can't see it, or he just doesn't care. Like, maybe what he did the other day was just kind of a Hail Mary. He didn't have, you know, I do believe that there are people that are very worried, especially with the RCMP being quiet recently. Okay. Um, let me see if this is it. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Where's the volume on this when you need it? Okay. All right. I'm going to pull up who something Miss Daniel. You know something I was looking. You know who reminds me who Daniel and Malaya reminded me of when they first did their interviews? I was just thinking about this earlier. They gave me these guys feeling. Who knows who these two are? I'm froze. I'm frozen. I don't know why. Probably YouTube. Do you know who these are? Hey, Deb. Thank you so much, my love. Good to see you. Thank you, baby. Justin, do you think Daniel snapped and the kids were gone that night? Drug rage, possibly, and the kids were not listening. But do you feel the mother knew and protected him? I love you, Justin. I do think that, in my opinion, I believe that yes, there was probably a snap. Someone snapped, more likely. But then you got to ask yourself, why wouldn't Malaya just say something? right? Why wouldn't she just say something? And then you have to look at it like, generally the only way someone will not say something with the other person in the house is if they feel that they are going to get in trouble for something, right? So, like rugs being in their system, right? Or even a black eye, even a black eye. Um, because if I'll be honest with, no, I don't like saying that word. I'll be honest with you. Um, it's not a, in my opinion, I believe that if Jack or Lily were found and there was an autopsy, and especially in the very beginning, that there would, especially if you look at, in my opinion, their bones and stuff, I believe that there would show different stages of healing, um, and that they had went through a lot of trauma, a lot of nutritional deficiencies, in my opinion. You can, again, children don't get black eyes all the time. They just don't. And in my opinion, I think anyone who does that to a kid, that hits a kid, neglects a kid, goes and smokes your stuff, there's no food left in the house, you're the worst of the worst. You're the worst of the worst. And that's why I'm just never going to give up on Jack and Lily. They were absolutely failed. Don't care if there's 2 people in my chat. We're going to be here for Jack and Lily. An overdose on melatonin can cause seizures and hypothermia. No, it's not melatonin. They didn't overdose those kids on melatonin. Not a chance. No. I have seen, guys, I've worked at 3 different funeral homes. I've been to the coroner more times than I can count. I've seen so many cause of deaths. No. Mm-mm. I mean, yeah, it can, but 2 of those kids are not going to overdose and die on melatonin. Yeah, it would have to be an absurd amount. And I think about what's the likelihood of 2 children passing on rugs. It can happen. It does happen. People OD together all the time. They don't know what they have, or their little systems can't handle it, especially if they're already, malnourished and all that. But it's more likely that if there is an OD, that one of them was OD'd like severely, and the other one most likely would have not completely OD'd, but how can I say it? I gotta watch how I say it. Had it can cause a lot of different adverse effects And that would be one way where both of them could have contributed, where they would have both gotten in trouble, in my opinion. I'm not ignoring people. I can only. You're fine. You're fine, or it's okay. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up. I get it. Yeah. So this is the West couple, and but people just knew that they were guilty from the jump. They're now in prison. However, they are not. The West boys have not been found still yet today. So, okay. I want to play something here before I play our friend Char's. Something that Daniel said the other day.
We covered everywhere possible. Even in the first day we did. Even with me running through the woods, I was ahead of the helicopters and ahead of the drones and stuff like that. Screaming as loud as I can. Just until my throat hurt. Running through water that was up to my waist. And as soon as I got back, I wasn't allowed back in the woods until a man dressed in a military outfit said I could.
If Char and Melissa end up doing another interview with Daniel, I would love them to ask him about the water up to his waist. Hey, Widow, good to see you. The water up to his waist. When did you, how did you exactly do that in 10 minutes? And this is not, he's talking about wading water up to his waist.
Go back into the woods. As soon as I seen they were missing, I jumped right in the vehicle and I did every dirt road and searched every culvert. The very first day I wasn't around very much because I was just searching. I was running through the woods, screaming their name till my throat hurt.
Okay, right there, he is trying to get ahead of it, right? The very first day I wasn't around very much. Right? I wasn't around very much, just looking for the kids and all that. Well, no, Daniel, you were avoiding law enforcement like the plague. You were avoiding the family like the plague. Just like you throw everyone under the bus. I believe you were not only through Jack and Lilly, I believe you was letting Malaya answer most of the questions to begin with, just like you did. It's a pattern with these people, folks. Just like when Durwood went there to confront Daniel. Again, you guys know how I feel about Durwood, but Daniel is inside hiding, but he says he was sleeping. He was sleeping. Okay, Daniel. Okay, sure, buddy. It's a pattern for these people. Hey, Miss Dolores, good to see you, Mama. Thank you so much, my dear. Really appreciate you. Hi, Justin. Love you guys. Love you, Miss Dolores. Really appreciate you. Thank you, darling. Hopefully you're doing well. Mish says, I wonder if Lillian Jack scratched his face. Don't know. Hey, Fundeski. How are you, honey? Widow baby, I just wish that they would have said something about where the boys are. Talking about the West boys. It's not over till it's over. You know.
Went cold. So they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only two prints are right beside the house.
Okay. Remember Daniel? Remember the other day when Daniel said, that's just not true. I didn't lie about the prints and the blankets and all that. Remember that? Which we proved it, but here's further proof.
I hate being wet and cold. So they immediately would have came right back. My throat hurt. I hate being wet and cold. So they immediately would have came right back into the house. The only two prints are right beside the house facing the road, and then that's it.
Yep, the only two prints are beside the house facing the road, he says. Facing the road. Boy, that's interesting. Just like they were walking out to the edge of the road, right, Daniel? Or, someone took them. Remember that? Someone might have took them. They said, shh. Yeah, that's all there was. That's all there was. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button or double tap the screen if you're on the mobile. Thank you all for being here. Listen to this.
Anybody who has any information or you think you've seen something or hear something or any messages from friends about hearing something, just contact your local police services. Anything, guys. Anything. You're still searching, still fighting to try to find them. That's all I can do.
The message is still, if anyone knows anything.
If anybody knows anything, just come forward as soon as possible. Two little kids are still out there. I want to find them.
Oh, I was
That's really
muted.
all I can do.
Sorry, I was saying this is Janie's work back here where she was raking stuff off the night before. He has a bruise, hickey on his neck. I don't, on this one, he might, I don't know if that's a shadow or not. But one thing about that eye, it's very mysterious to me because he does have a picture of him and Malaya, and he looks like he's got like a scar on his eye, but from right there. But that scar, since Jack and Lily has went missing, I've checked his interviews, it's slowly gone away. It's slowly gone away more. It really has. I've shown you guys about that.
Still searching every day. I'm waiting for information. I have to let them do a lot of their stuff with the aircrafts and everything else, and dogs and searchers. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be coordinated, and I can't just go running through the woods. I want to, but I just can't right now because the searches are so far out.
Now, what does the search being so far out have to do with you, Daniel? You run faster than the helicopters, right? Doesn't he run faster than the helicopters? Hold on 1 second. I gotta find something. Bear with me 1 second, guys. Okay. I agree, Patriot. I think they both know a hell of a lot more. Okay. Now, it might be this one. Okay. Now, our friend, It's a Criming Shame, Miss Sunny, which she was in here the other day. She hasn't been live in a long time. Sunny has done a lot in Jack and Lily's case. She was one of the first on the case, and Sunny's Canadian as well. She spoke on something a while back ago, and I want you to listen to this before we get to what Daniel said the other day when he continued on his stuff. Will the drones pick up the scar? I don't know. What do you mean? Like
Lily's LOL doll blanket, let alone the fact that it was in a garbage bag, okay? Which was about a week earlier. I just want to know because Malaya says she took it down and put in the garbage. But before you put it up, right? Before you put it up, obviously that piece would have been ripped off. But yet it managed to make it in the same garbage. Because like what did you do? Have it on the window or the door? Sorry, the door for like a week? And that's how it became in the same garbage. But the thing is,
Yes, listen to this.
To make it in the same garbage? Because like what did you do? Have it on the window or the door? Sorry, the door for like a week, and that's how it became in the same garbage. But the thing is, Haley, to me, absolutely is being truthful.
And I agree with her here. How did this piece of blanket get in the garbage and the other one tore? But okay, so you have a blanket that you say is up and it tears, right? It tears. The blanket tears. That's why you get rid of it, right? So you go throw it in the trash. Okay, things break, you throw it in the trash. How did we get from you throwing this piece of blanket in the trash to, in the beginning, this part of the pink blanket being planted as if Jack and Lily were there? How did that happen? Oh my God, that blanket broke. Let me just take that down and throw it away. Okay? Throw it in the trash. I'm going to take it outside and throw it in the dumpster or the trash. How did Jack and Lily plant that? If it was already broke, right? A week prior. I'll wait. Because there is no explanation. There is none. That would make logical sense. If something breaks, if the blanket is already tore, right? It ripped. How does it get from in the trash to where would Jack and Lily got the other part? Doesn't make sense at all, ever. Okay.
Why would she put herself in an accessory of knowing that she planted when she has her own child?
Yes. So remember, Daniel was hot and heavy on people who found the blanket. Now, I just want to show you, in my opinion, an example of what kind of person Daniel is if you think he is loyal to you. And this is my opinion, a theory on what in my opinion, might have happened. Not only was Jack and Lily neglected and abused, in my opinion, but this blanket and shoe prints were planted to serve, in my opinion, whoever to try to give the RCMP a clue or to throw off the RCMP. Oh, yeah, they went out there. They're out there. But then once that starts backfiring on Daniel, he accuses the very people who went out to search for Jack and Lily over something, in my opinion, he planted. That's what kind of, in my opinion, backbiting, conniving monsters we're dealing with here. Mohawk, he failed to say his cousin was the ones who found a piece of the blanket. Yes. Yep, he just pointed at MBM's family. Right. Unbelievable.
Okay. The only person that is consistently not being truthful or adding stuff to the storyline is you guys. Okay. You're adding stuff, you're taking it away. Wait, maybe my mom didn't hear Malia says.
I need to get a
Oh, wait,
picture of
maybe she
Malia.
didn't actually. But like, come on now. So who would we believe, really? Someone like Haley, you think she's honestly going to sit there?
I don't know. Did Sunny close her channel down? I hope not. Did she? Oh, I hope she didn't.
And go plant a blanket just to blame it on you so that Malaya could sneak these children off with her other plans. It's absurd. And to think that you guys are smarter than the RCMP and that they wouldn't have figured this out.
She hasn't been live, but I don't think she shut her channel down. No, Sunny was on holidays. Yeah, she works another job and she's got a lot break and stuff like that. So she just needs a break, which I get it. Okay. So listen, I got sidetracked here. Just listen.
Sneak these children plan, you guys. Oh, who would we believe, really? Someone like Haley, you think she's honestly going to sit there and go plant a blanket just to blame it on you so that Malaya could sneak these children off with her other plans? It's absurd. And to think that you guys are smart.
Yes. Remember, Daniel was pointing, don't forget about what Daniel stated to not a YouTuber, right? Not someone on Facebook. He told a woman, a reporter, that Malaya's going to blame all of this on me. And it was confusing to the reporter. She's like, what do you mean? Right? And he starts talking about something else. She's going to blame all of this on me. Now, why would you say that when the kids have only been missing less than 72 hours at that point? Right? Magdalena, that's why not everything should be given out. Any searchers could have planted doll, just saying. I don't think nobody has a reason to plant anything. That's a crime. I'm not sure. I agree with that personally, but because these people are good people, these people out there searching and stuff, they don't have a reason to plant. They're out there to just find Jack and Lilly, and I believe that for the family as well, and friends who was first out there. They were confused as everyone else. People do that, Justin. People do that when they're involved, right? People do that when they're involved. They do plant things, but the family, when they were first called out there, if that's what you mean, and I'm talking about like in the beginning, yes, and that's what this blanket and these shoe prints are, in my opinion, is to distract. And there was no other reason. There was just no way possible Jack and Lilly would have gone a kilometer and planted this blanket up there. And think about this. Who was the only one that lied in the beginning about the blanket and the shoe prints? Well, it was Daniel.
smarter than the RCMP and that they wouldn't have figured this out. There's a reason why the cadaver dogs are there. There's a reason why the dog handler said that stuff to you. Like, dude, I can't knock sense. And you said people to need to use this, or I couldn't knock sense into you if my life depended on it, to how you're portraying yourself and the things that you're contradicting. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it was planted though. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that little shoe print stuff. I don't think it's Jack and Lily's, and I just don't think it was planted. Exactly, Ms. Joyce. Yeah. You heard about DM slicing up his hand. Yes. Yes, I did.
No, if you're that clueless, you must be to what you're saying. And then you're saying that Malaya had nothing to do with it.
You're fine, baby.
But yet she had plans, right? Again, it doesn't make sense at all. It's ridiculous. So am I absolutely believing Haley? Absolutely. How many of you guys, just to ask you guys, how many of you guys would like to hear from Haley? Just to ask you guys. 1 for yes, 2 for no. How many of you guys would like?
Let me find it right here.
End up on DT show? Who knows? CPS. So I you know what? Daniel talked about the CPS and about that.
Listen to
Now,
this.
I've never talked about, Malaya told me about the CPS. Again, her version of what happened. And you know, but yeah, Cindy, I guess, called it. That's what we had heard, that Cindy had called CPS or whatever. But anyways, but will I do it? No, because I have to go find it and I got other things to do. Anyways, I'll revisit that one. Okay. Because if Daniel wants to put out there about what he's saying about Malaya, I think it's only fair that from Malaya's side, what she said about the whole CPS thing as well. Bonnie, you are, so I'm going to say that you're wrong on that. It is about Daniel and Malaya. Absolutely. Right. But, Haley, of course, is, Malaya's stepsister. Okay.
Now, in my opinion, I think other than Belinda, I think Haley has been, when it comes to family, I think she's been the most real about finding Jack and Lily, in my opinion.
Let's get that right. Stepsister. She was there with the blanket, right? So she was there
Listen
as
to
well.
this
Just
right
like Belinda has told her side of what it was like to be there on the search and stuff like that. But, you know, Daniel's running with this narrative that Haley is the one that planted the blanket. Now, you know what? We're going to watch Hunter S.
Joe, Sonny yelling at everyone was the best. You used to get your panties in a knot when she yelled at you, Joe. You got your panties in a knot. Hey, hidden in the fog. Yeah. I think Haley, good to see you guys. Make sure you sub up to Hidden in the Fog. She's on YouTube and TikTok. She does a lot on TikTok, particularly, but she's done so much for Jack and Lily's case, and she's not a judgmental person like I am.
crime right now. Okay. Everyone's Jack and Lily are not here, and why we're 5 months deep.
Now we're at a year deep.
If something happened and whatever, bottom line is either they both know, but they're both responsible about why Jack and Lily are not with us today. Regardless of the answer, it's because of them two. Regardless. Okay? And I won't forget that.
And I won't either, Sonny. And I won't either. Because I'm not going to sit here personally and make them look like one is better than the other, because I truly don't think that. And that's why I want to do this live stream coming up one day about people who really support Daniel. Tell me why you support him in the fact that you think he doesn't know something, or he, you know, or whatever your theory is. And then I want to do another day the same with Malaya. Because am I missing something? Because again, I've literally been on the case since day one, and I just don't see how, particularly two, but most likely three people on the property couldn't have known, whenever their story is the same. Not only their story is the same, neighbors on both sides claim Daniel was out in the middle of the night. And I would like to have that debate with them, a friendly debate, of course, nothing hostile or anything like that. Of course.
Because we would not be sitting here 5 months later if these children, let's just say, were properly taken care of.
You're good, Joe. It's fine.
Yeah. Again, we all have our differences of opinions and stuff like that. So I'm not here to try to sell you on what you don't want to believe or what you do want to believe. I'm just here to talk about Jack and Lily's case, talk their work. Daniel, there's no poor me here for Daniel. Okay. It's not all for sure, because it's going to happen. It doesn't matter what case you cover. It's still going to happen. Okay. That there's going to be good and bad.
I mean, this is the thing. When Jack and Lily first went missing, I gave Daniel the credit for coming out and speaking, right? I go back, you can see, I gave Daniel absolute credit for going back, for speaking out for Jack or Lily. Now, I believe that he was never really speaking out for Jack and Lily. For me, in my opinion, I believe he was doing it as a way to control the narrative, if you will. It was very bizarre when the mother, Malaya, left, right? Everyone was scratching their chins when Malaya first left. We were like, why would a mother leave? And then not only didn't leave, she blocked Daniel. There obviously seems to be some things going on, but not so much that. It was not speaking out for your children, not doing another interview, not answering another question. People handle things differently, right? Some people are very quiet whenever they don't want to incriminate themselves, and some people don't have the maturity to not, to stop talking. That's how they try to control the narrative, the story, and try to make themselves look better.
And all of it. It's just a matter of what you want to fight for, and some people, like, Janie was saying, like, well, I'm not comfortable being in front of a camera. She finally did it and stuff like that. My thing is this: nothing comes in front of the children.
That's right.
My ego.
That's right. Nothing. The thing that bothers me with Malaya, she is, and again, I think there is things that's happened to Malaya in the beginning that were, that not in the beginning. Sorry, scratch that. That were things in the relationship that she should have never have went through, probably, based upon, again, speaking to Daniel's exes, showing you guys text messages, things that he has said, that kind of thing. But there is nothing that would stop a mother, a family member, if you truly don't know. You would never You wouldn't let the devil get in the way, let alone worried about getting in front of a camera. You wouldn't.
Doesn't my pride put to the side? Why do I care? I wouldn't care at all. I don't care if cameras want to come at me and ask me about my missing child and grandchild and stuff like that all day long. Come at me. So I have a different view, and maybe that's because
No.
I don't think
Mm-mm.
that way. I don't think of myself going, well, let me.
Mm-mm. No, JC. No, it's not an animal or a raccoon or anything grabbing the blanket and taking it a kilometer away in beside of one of the main roads that's about eye level to an adult, close to where boot prints are found. No, the chance of that is about zilch. You're being, I got you being kind of sarcastic about it. I get you. Not trying to be rude, but they really didn't go into the water. DM talks about water all the time and driving the Pathfinder. Big clue. Yeah, well, recently when he spoke out, he, adds a new route that he went on. He adds a new route after a year. Didn't know that for a year, right? Again, Daniel is always clarifying his clarifications that he clarified, the clarifications of the clarifications from when he clarified it a year ago. Come on. One time. Okay. Who's it, Jules? Let me see here. I've got it now. I think I got it pulled up. Michelle, thank you so much for sending some jewels, my darling. Appreciate you. Thank you very much for your support, Michelle. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you, but I don't know how to use this. We got you. Thank you so much. You are. Whoops. You are here, my dear. That's us, like big time, yeah. RCMP said that they used underwater drones on the lakes. Yes. Yeah.
Just think of myself first. Let me just think about what.
We were covering Nancy Guthrie last night, and Chris made a good point about, we're been trying to really see who, again, what I'm about to show you is unrelated to Jack and Lilly totally. I'm just showing you an example. We've been trying to see who this guy is. And Chris was speaking about maybe if we find that vehicle, we will find who that person is. And we've obviously looked into and spoken at this vehicle that supposedly went in and out of Daniel's and Malaya's and Janie's home that night. But I hope the RCMP are really working on that part as well. And I believe the neighbors that they heard someone going in and out of that house after midnight till about 5:30 in the morning. I believe them with every fiber of my being. They have no reason to lie. They don't want to be in the limelight at all. And again, what they said, Daniel would later say the exact same route that he said that they heard them. So I believe them, and I think the vehicle was probably destroyed, scrapped, burned, something like that. But I hope that's, and I believe that RCMP probably knows what vehicle and all that.
That I don't like this or I don't like that. I don't even think about that stuff. I fight for what's right, and I'll be a voice as big as I can.
Oops, hold on.
Belinda.
Mysterious as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Watching a
We're
little
gonna
bit
move
more.
to something else in just
He's
one
from a
second.
garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martell says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
I mean, it's mysterious as it is because the distance from the garbage bin to where the blanket was found is almost 1 kilometer.
Oh,
My God, I was muted. I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. Was gabbing away. There is this interview up here. I want to show you this little part before we move on to what Daniel said the other day because it's important. And this interview, for some reason in this case, is not shown as much. And to me, it's one of the most important interviews because it's Daniel right there at that trash can. And he is speaking about the blanket and the trash and all that. Okay.
if it means that everything
At the end of
okay.
This is obviously where they say the blanket was found, right? One bag in there, that's it.
Watching a little bit more.
He's from a garbage bin at the end of the family's driveway. Martell says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart.
I mean, first of all, look how heavy this
Bin at
is.
the end of the
Do you see how thick that fucking wood is? Do you see how thick that wood is right there? When the RCMP went there and lifted that wood, Jack and Lilly couldn't have lifted that if they wanted to. They're preschool and kindergarten age. They couldn't have lifted that based upon their height to get in there. Right? There was no way. Not a chance. There is no way that, and this is one of the big errors, in my opinion, that the parents did, not only planting the blanket, but putting it in this trash can. I was also taking a PI course to some. So, and that's not a blur. I just want to show you.
As it is.
This.
Okay.
What's
Watching a little
next?
bit more.
He's from a garbage bin at the
Look how thick this is. It's plywood and then it's got this other board on it. It's heavy and he slams it down. That's the width and the height of it. They just couldn't have done it at 4 and 6 years old. Ever.
end of the family's driveway. Martell says it was the same blanket, but it had been ripped apart and thrown out.
I mean, it's mysterious as it is because
Martell said it's the same blanket.
the distance from the garbage bin to where the blanket was found is almost 1 kilometer. I was actually told there was a piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket?
Yeah. Now, this is obviously a separate interview. This is with DT, right? Look at
Like,
this.
and I put 2 and 2 together. I ran out to the garbage bin and and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag, and clearly there was somebody who went into the
Watch his eyes move. Watch his eyes move left and right. He is thinking. He has to pause.
and clearly there was somebody who went into the
Watch
garbage,
his eyes.
or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because
Okay.
usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
Yeah, that hand size hole. The only hand size hole that we're talking about, Daniel, is you. You're the hand size hole, in my opinion. Was it ever confirmed the date of the last garbage pickup? No, but one trash bag. If you look back at, they would certainly have more than one trash bag full. But regardless, it doesn't matter. Who would have? Tell me who in a Lansdowne station would have a motive, and how would they know about a blanket, and who would have the nerve to go in front of their house and start going through their trash while Tucka is out there barking? Not a chance. Not a chance. You'll never ever convince me.
That's interesting. Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture? The piece?
The piece of the blanket? No.
No. Okay,
No.
so they just told you.
No. And this is coming from the person who lied and said there was no pink blanket, that the pink blanket was not Lily's. That was not Lily's. And even in this interview with Daniel, he slips. He says that was, he talks about Lily stuff, and he's like, I mean, it couldn't have been Jack or Lily's. He knows it's Lily stuff.
They found a piece, and you went to the garbage bin. And
Yeah.
where in the garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket? Was it towards the
Okay,
top, in the middle,
there
the
was-
bottom?
These were like large industrial sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And Mom would always yell at me, don't put so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags
Mommy
like really
would
heavy,
yell.
right?
Okay.
And so I had the blanket was in a garbage bag, but there was another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged,
Interesting.
and you could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it. And
From a hand that went down inside of it. A hand. A hand. You couldn't, Jack and Lily couldn't open that and have a hand open that bag and then get out a piece of the blanket. Okay. First of all, they said the blanket was ripped to begin with, right? It was ripped to begin with. And that's why they threw it away. Well, if it was ripped to begin with, why was there, did you put both pieces in there, or was it one piece and was it ripped? And how did another piece get a kilometer away? Come on, folks.
and pulled something out, but it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But
Yeah.
the
Well, the
bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out.
The blanket was still at the bottom of the bag. It wasn't pulled out? Well, they had to pull some of it out to get a kilometer away, Daniel. He's talking almost like he knows the person that did this.
The
Well,
bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that. So
was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
Listen,
it was the garbage bag. That one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag, and it was just that was the only bag that was in there.
lying like a sieve. Lying like a sieve. And what stepfather or parent is smiling and kind of laughing to an extent, like when they're speaking about their missing children or their stepchildren? Why? Most people are so emotional, so distraught about speaking about their kids and the seriousness of the situation. Well, his cousin said DM went and got the bag, and his brother filmed it opening. Like, who does that? Yes, and that is, I can pull that up. That is actually in the documents as well. Like, he says he put, when there was this pink blanket found, he immediately put 2 and 2 together and he went and filmed it. But he tells the media for days that this is not Lily's blanket.
It was the garbage bag. That one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag, and it was just that was the only bag that was in there.
Oh, okay. So there wasn't
that
any
one?
other trash on top.
No, there was nothing else piled on top of it or underneath it.
So if somebody opened the bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blanket in there. Yeah.
Okay.
Convenient.
And so it seems like in the documents that it alludes that they showed you guys a picture and that you guys confirmed it. Was that, if you didn't see a picture, do you know if Malaya did?
I'm not sure if she did or not. I have no idea.
So they find what Lily's blanket and 3 sets of boot prints, and Malaya doesn't go over it with you? Nope. That would be number uno thing you're talking about, because that would be physical evidence. You see, if this, in my opinion, went in his favor, he would be wanting to speak about it a hell of a lot more. He would not even speak about it for a long time after the heat about the blanket being planted.
Another key thing that came out in the documents is this pink blanket that, has come up in other stories we've reported on. And the key thing about this pink blanket is that it was found a kilometer from the trailer where Jack and Lilly disappeared from, and it's perhaps the only physical clue in the case. So what's interesting is that Malaya's sister found this blanket along with 2 other family members the day the children were reported missing in the afternoon.
Yeah, same day the kids were reported missing in the afternoon. Shai, thank you so much for sending 10 jewels. Appreciate you very much, my love. And Michelle, thank you for sending 300 jewels as well. Really, really do appreciate you, my love. And Happy Turtle, thank you for sending 10 jewels. Marilyn, thank you for sending 10 jewels. And Wendy, Thank you for sending 10 jewels. And PGH, thank you for sending 10 jewels. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Thank you for your support, my love. Appreciate that very much. I have a see-through yellow garbage bag here right now. Needs to go out. I can't tell you what are in them other than, and I don't know if I could tell you what I put in the trash last week. I really don't know if I could tell you. That is one thing I'm not sure I could tell you, if what I put in the garbage last week. So I agree with you there. Yeah. And who were the other two family members again? It was Malaya's stepsister, Daniel's cousin, and I forgot the third one right now. Thank you, Miss Magdalena. Thank you so much for gifting the appreciate you, my love. Good to see you. Thank you, Mama Sita, for gifting that. You received that. Make sure you thank our dear Magdalena. Thank you for your support, Miss Magdalena. You're very, very kind, my love. Can anyone explain if you were trying to prove the children went on their own rather, and you planted the blanket to make it look like they did go, would you not say that blanket is Lily's? That's a very, very good question, right? So I think he didn't think it through, in my opinion. I think he did not think it through. And once people started saying where it was up in the tree and stuff, and major crimes was there, I think that's when he started pushing that scenario away. I think it didn't go how he thought it was going to go in his mind, in my opinion. And what I do. Damn. Hold on. StreamYard, man. Okay, give me a second, guys. In my opinion, your brain must get clear to think through things. It's yes. Yeah. Well, you just don't, nothing ever goes, whether it's crime or anything in life, never really goes exactly what you think in your head, right? We can think something, oh, well, this will happen, and then this will happen, and this will happen. But it never really goes as we plan it, right? Okay, I'm trying to refresh this, guys. I can't believe that this case and other missing children's cases that the babies just vanished. Kids don't just vanish. They're found very quickly. Very, very quickly. Right? Very quickly. One second, guys. I don't know what happened to it. Did I miss something? Okay, I'll get to it in a second. All right. Am I frozen, guys? I don't know what happened to I don't know if it's Canva or my internet right now. Let me just do this. There's just one more thing I wanted to show you. Thank you so much, Tina. I was going to thank you for saying that. Hold on one second. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I need to email her and see if she's okay. I hope she's okay. I just saw her message when she was at Sunny's and when I was recording that and made me think of her. Thank you so much, honey. I really appreciate you. Yes, please keep Shannon in your prayers, guys. She is receiving treatment right now, and she's got such a big heart and cares so much. And screw cancer, man. Screw cancer. Thank you so much, Pinky. Appreciate you. Love you, Dustin. And how you go, baby. Thank you so much, honey. Appreciate you. And thank you for your continued support, Pinky. I do appreciate you very, very much, my friend. I don't know what to do. Okay, let me just, we'll have to get back to that in a second, guys, because I'm having a little bit of a technical glitch. We're going to go to Shars. There was one more thing before we got to the thing Daniel's about ready to say up here that I wanted to show, but we're not going to get to do it at this second because I'm having a glitch here. Yes, thank you, Linda. Thank you, guys. She is. She's such a good person. She really is. And there's a, she's in Australia, so there's such a big time difference too. So there's that. Okay. Did Shy send something? One second. I'll look at it. Linda, thank you so much for sending 800 joules, my dear. I appreciate you very, very much. Thank you, baby. Good to see you. And Valerie, thank you for sending 10 joules and another 10 joules. And NS Hippie, thank you for sending 10 joules as well. Thank you all so very, very much. Okay. Oops. I hate having technical difficulties, especially live. Okay, we're going to go to Shars True Crime. I always forget the whole name. Shars True Crime Story Podcast. All right, listen to this part.
When you got back,
I'm
but
gonna
I
show you
mean,
something.
it's out there. People are speculating on it. So thank you for going over that again.
I arrived home from that initial search in the car at 10:22 or something like that, or 10:23. The RCMP was just still walking down to Malaya, so I wasn't gone for that long. And
how did he do all that stuff in such a little bit of time? Right? Daphne and I were talking the other night. Daniel could not have left until after 10:01. After 10:01. And RCMP was there by 10:25. Right? 10:25. How did he do all of these roads, all of these culverts, all of this? And then I showed you guys where Daniel said he searched for hours in the beginning. Hours? Not possible. Robin, 23 months. What a legend there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you very, very much, Robin. You come from the Daisy Basham days, 23 months, probably, whenever I was, this used to be my backup channel. And I used to dress up like this old woman. I kind of did it with Daphne one time. I think I was acting like Janie though, but I used to dress up like this old woman. We named her Daisy Basham, and I had a big old booty and all that. A long time ago. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you. I think he did whatever between about 10 and 11 at night on Thursday, then probably took care of things when he got back. Yeah, I think between 11 and well, I think probably, in my opinion, between 12 and 5 or 5:30 a.m. was cleanup, if you will, uh, hiding. And I think from 5:30 till about 10 o'clock was to, what's the word? Plan. Miss Daisy Basham, the pillow, and the wig. Yeah.
That was just enough time to search all the closest roads, right? And, look at the bridges and culverts. Because, Lily and Jack are always attracted to water. I mean, as most kids are, right? It's
You okay,
fun to throw
Leslie?
rocks in water
Hey, oh,
and stuff as a
baby.
kid. So, and when I take Jack and Lily fishing,
I
they
love
would
you all
usually
so
just
much.
do that, go to the water and throw rocks in it. So,
Right. And just one more thing about that morning. Well, I'm sure there are other questions from other people, but myself, after talking to Janie, after talking to your mom, I had asked her at what point did she
What's that, Jerry? You posted that last message 6 times. What message?
inform Malaya or you that she had just heard the kids outside playing, and your mom said she doesn't think she did. Do you know, when did you learn that your mom had heard the kids not too terribly long before you guys realized they were missing?
I don't recall when Mom actually told me. That's a very good point.
Okay. Sorry. We played this part. Give me a second. I got to find the timestamp. That's where I made the point of, if Janie had just heard the kids 10 minutes prior, right? If she had just heard the kids 10 minutes prior, that would have been a major confusing factor, right? For Miss Janie. It would have been a major confusing factor, because you would have been like, Daniel, I just heard Daniel outside just a minute ago. I thought he was with the kids or yelling at the kids, and I just heard the kids a few minutes prior to that. So why didn't Janie ask that to Miss Malaya? And it still confuses me how Janie was laying on the couch. She hears the kids. She conveniently dozes off. And then she hears Daniel. She doesn't pay any attention to it, right? And then she conveniently dozes off again. And then a few minutes later, she conveniently gets up and goes outside and just sees Malaya, walks straight to Malaya and says, "What's up? The kids are missing." How long? About 20 minutes. So I went inside, got my shoes on, you know, got my coat on, and started looking for him. You conveniently lay your phone down too, don't you, Janie? Mm. What made you get up, Janie? What made you just walk outside and walk straight to Malaya? Now, if Janie would have, and what made Malaya just stand there like a bump on a log and not walk her ass to Janie's door and say, "Miss Janie, have you not seen the kids? They're missing. Daniel's up at the cabins right now looking for them. We've looked all around here." Come on. I think all the adults on the property know what happened to those babies. I don't see how they couldn't. Like a mushroom on a log. That's exactly right, Deborah. That's exactly right. Janie may think that she heard the kids, but truly never did. Well, she insists that she did. She heard them laughing and giggling. playing out on the swing. It's pretty specific, right? I mean, if you hear someone out there, you hear someone out there, right? But why wouldn't you, if you had just heard them, why wouldn't you have just said, "Hey, what's up?" Like, I just heard them, right? Them laughing and giggling and playing out on the swing, that's pretty specific. Sausage says, I think it's possible the kids went outside and headed to the cabins, but Janie had let the dog out and it attacked them in the driveway. That's one theory. I don't. I've thought about that theory. It doesn't make. It's really rare for a dog to kill two human beings at a time, right? That would be really rare. And if it happened that morning, that doesn't explain why Daniel can't remember between 8 and midnight. And it doesn't explain the car rides after midnight, right? So there are people that believe the dog theory and stuff. Not me personally. Although I think that I think that Janie was probably a if Daniel and not Daniel, if Jack and Lily got close to the yard, I think Tucker would start barking probably a lot and Janie would be out there screaming. Right? No, Deb. I don't because I don't think Janie's a bad person. Per se. But I think I think she's got herself in more hot water than she ever expected. And I think she's taking up for her son. And I think it's a defense. You know what I mean? Leslie, I hope you feel better, baby. She come. I think there was lots of rugs in the house. And, it would not surprise me if Malaya was rugged at times. It would not surprise me. And I'll tell you why. But I also think, in my opinion, Malaya probably was involved with the rugs herself. I think that's part of the reason maybe she might have went and got help. What was it, back in the winter or the fall? And but Daniel liked to allegedly, lock people inside. There was those bolted doors and stuff. And whenever you can't control people. Okay, let's think about this. Right? Let's think about this. When we hear of trafficking, right? Such a horrible thing, trafficking. We think, that the automatic first reaction is like someone kidnapped you and put you in a van and you're locked away in a house. No. The most type of trafficking is they will get a woman, particularly, and they will have a rug house, a DRUG house, and they get them hooked to rugs, right? It's not that they can't go anywhere, but it's that they can't go anywhere because they are hooked, and they won't go anywhere because that's what addiction does, right? It's a control. It's about control. And that is the most common type of trafficking. And abusers can do this to their partner as well, right? They can get them hooked on stuff and they won't go anywhere, right? They will not go anywhere because if they keep you with a fresh supply, that's all addiction cares about. That's it, is a fresh supply. Sadly, they will let themselves go. They'll let their lives go. They'll let their kids go. They'll let things happen and done to their kids that they would not normally allow. Okay. Maurice, good to see you, Mamacita. Good to see you. Of course, Miss Mom. I'm sorry, honey. It'll get better. I promise. The clouds don't stay out forever. It does. It does. What about the wood pile under the swing set? I believe that there was a wood pile under the swing set, Brian, in my opinion. I think, again, I don't think anything that they say that morning happened. Not a bit of it. I don't think that there was any sleep going on that night at all. I think there was a lot of flipping the hell out, hiding things, and planning, in my opinion. I don't think anything happened that morning except for they called that the kids were to not be at school that day. They called them absent. Justin, can you read Another Day, Another Dollars comment something about blocking people? Do you do the blocking or monthly paying member people in chat, or is that Justin who do it to his channel members? We don't block any members. Another Day, Another Dollar. We don't. Or who's blocked? Let me see here. I don't see anybody blocked that's been blocked actually in this live stream. Let me look. Nope. Hold on. Nope. Someone retracted their message. Nope. It might be an accident or something, but no. Don't forget, Justin, there was two. What are we talking about, Brad? Oh, he only asked if mods could block. Oh, yes, mods are the only ones that can block. Yes.
Important with those types of details that,
That's not true. I take that back. Mods can block you so the chat can't see you per se, like if that happens. But generally we have a very, very, very small block list. But you can block you are your own mod, essentially. If you're not a mod and you don't really care for someone, you kind of, have a little friction or whatever, which is pretty rare in my chat. But if it happens, you can block that person and you'll just not see their messages in chat anymore. So sorry if I misunderstood that, my dear.
No, sometimes I forget to ask these questions. And so thank
You're
you for
potent
bringing
to
up the
say.
2 blanket thing. I'm going to try to go a little bit quicker to get really important, not double questions. But for now, do you remember Lily's doll and why it could be part of, what they're looking for during these searches?
Yeah, there was a Dracula Monster High doll.
And Sasha, we truly don't know, it all. And there has been, again, we don't know who the Crown, the RCMP is claiming that Daniel's victim is, but there was, appears to be rugs going on in the house and financial hardship, right? And when you're on rugs and you have no money, people do desperate things, right? People can do desperate things. Sometimes not willingly, sometimes, they will maybe force someone to do something.
I didn't even know what was missing until
That's right,
investigators
Deb.
sent me a picture,
I
sent me images of it, and I said, "Yeah, Lily owned that doll." Then I thought to myself,
Okay, listen to this.
I don't remember when I gathered up all Lily and Jack's toys and their.
And yes, Mama, good to see you, Mama. YouTube can also hold your comments. And Justin lets everyone believe what they want. We just asked that you use, in my opinion, or allegedly. Absolutely. YouTube can hold your comments. Also, there is, I think, a little button above you. It's either all comments. What is it? All comments, or I can't think of it right now. But I forget what it is. But if you don't have it on all comments, you might not see someone's message as well, because YouTube filters out what they believe can be spam. Sometimes when I'm typing to you guys in chat, it'll think it's spam and I will have to type it a different way or whatever. Top comments. Yes. When you go to a chat, instantly it goes to top comments. And YouTube is always filtering messages out. So you have to manually always put it on all comments or live chat or something.
Clothes. I don't remember that doll being there because Lily loves her mermaid dolls. Like she loves mermaid dolls. And
Love
I
you,
found it
little
very
black
odd
bear.
that she would
Love you, baby.
take that doll over her mermaids because she loves her mermaid dolls much more than the Dracula one.
Okay, he's going to talk about these dolls right here, and this is very interesting. And Deb, so many people that I have spoken to that know Daniel, right? Thank you, Lori. So many people that I've spoken to that knows Daniel, every single one of them, every single one that I've spoken to, I asked them, what do you think happened? And every single one of them have told me that they thought he snapped from knowing him? I don't know.
Not unless that was already in her backpack, because that's what I'm getting out of it is I presume that this doll was probably in the backpack. That's what I gained from investigators because it's missing. Right. And I don't really have much on that other than that. Like that wasn't her preferred doll. Or whatever you want to refer to it as.
Another day. I as Mary Stevens. Is that your other chat room? Is that your other chat name? Mary? We know you, darling. Have specifically said a lot about NG case, which is pretty sick, but this case I'm respectful. Is that dear, if you want to send me your screen name, because you technically have a channel, even if you don't broadcast like I do, you technically have a channel. If you send me a link to, if you think you're blocked, if you send me a link to your channel, your screen name, I can check if you're blocked. If mods will drop that email, I appreciate it, but we rarely block anyone here. You have to be pretty nasty to be blocked here.
But
and I know you're not.
Yeah.
Toy. Okay, thank you. And then a number of questions are about if it's possible that Malaya could have had someone else pick them up, or did the kids know that they
Listen.
weren't going to school that day? Like all these questions that I don't know that you would have the answer to, but I don't know. Do you know? Can you
That
speak
that
to
first that first one is kind of like a theory or conspiracy, or
I cannot believe he says this.
I've always thought that in the past, but as time goes on, I'm not too sure on the theories or conspiracies or what happened. I just
You've made up so
don't
many,
know.
Daniel.
And I think it was a lapse in judgment for the accusations I made. I'm not defending Malay in any way.
No, you're defending yourself right now. You're defending yourself.
I just don't know. And
listen to this.
I don't know what to say on that. I just don't know what happened. Because I lay in bed with Meadow every single morning.
Baby kisses.
And that morning was no different for me. And I thought Lily and Jack were going to school that day. I didn't know they were being marked absent. And I'm going to say this. Malaya failed to get.
Okay. So he's getting ready to blame Malaya right here. He's getting ready to blame Malaya. But he says he lays in bed with Meadow every single morning that he's not working. But here's the thing. Daniel worked on Fridays. You was supposed to work that morning, Daniel, right? So what about that? Number one. Number two, he says it was daylight outside. It's in the documents. He said it was daylight outside. And he says Lily had came in the room a couple times. He just knows it was daylight outside. He didn't look at his clock or anything else, his phone. If you knew that you thought that they were going to school that morning, then why didn't you say to Malay, are the kids not going to school? Like, why are you still in bed? You're not getting the kids ready for school? Because if you've ever been late for something and someone's already up or whatever, you might wake them up and shake them or something. Be like, what? Are you not going to school? Then you're not sending the kids to school this morning? What's going on? So it doesn't make sense. I don't buy it. I know, Deb. I know. It's bad. Hey, sugar, sugar, honey, honey. Good to see you. Like a month, sugar, sugar. Love you, beautiful Pearl family. We love you, sugar, sugar. Thank you so very, very much for your support, my friend. Really, really do appreciate you very, very much, my love. Wait, he didn't know that they were not going to school? Did he not previously say that their absence confirmation on his email? Yes, he did say that he got a confirmation in his email that they. I'm kind of gonna. I don't want to say defend him, but see what he said here. He said that he did get a email saying that it's just like a confirmation that they were marked absent. But one thing I will say about that, Bonnie, is from what I understand, he didn't get the emails to his, it didn't go to his email, the confirmations. So it was always confusing from what I understand. Malaya said he did not get those confirmations. Only Malaya got those confirmations. He also said that they were marked absent from his phone. Yes. Yes. That's exactly right.
Get up with Jack and Lily that morning. I have always done the same thing when I don't work. I lay in bed with me.
Okay. Again, he said where he didn't work. You heard that, right? Didn't he work every Friday? When he didn't work, wasn't he working one day a week here? Am I wrong? Oh, thank you, Miss Joyous. Thank you so very much, honey. Very, very kind of you, Miss Joyous. Love you to pieces. It's very kind of you, Miss Joyous. Joyous strikes again. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Joyous. If you received one of those, make sure you thank our dear Mrs. Joyous for gifting you one of those pearl necklaces. Yes, Justin, he said one day a week. Thank you, darling. Appreciate you very much. Then he claimed it's Monday that he works. Oh, so it's Monday, then it's Friday. Joyous, do you remember what day he said he worked? I thought it was Friday. You know that they were gone before they laid. I don't think they laid down. I don't think they laid down a bit. Friday. Yeah, Friday. Then he changed it to Monday. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Meadow and sleep. Made sure she gets sleep because she was very young. She was just over a year old.
Now listen to him. We're here.
So I don't really. I mean, and anything's possible, but I just don't know. Like we've done multiple polygraphs, and
Show how innocent he is.
like I'm dumbfounded at the situation, like everybody else, because I always get these messages that say Lily and Jack didn't vanish into thin air, and that's 100% correct. But I don't know where they are, and I don't know where they went. I run over every single possible location I could think of, every person they could have had an interaction with.
Okay. No, this is not a grieving stepfather, in my opinion, or a concerned stepfather, because you have not looked everywhere you possibly can. Obviously, none of us have looked at the place, well, unless you know, right, where Jack and Lily is. I've looked everywhere. No, you haven't. Because they're still not found. That's it. That's all he's worried about, Hustler. That's it. Geneva, good to see you, darling. appreciate you. Hey, hon, I was wondering if you could cover the case out of So, Geneva. So, I was speaking about that case the other day. I haven't done a live stream on it, but I was looking into it about covering it. Yes, so there was two ambulance drivers who um, said that a man jumped out in front of them and they were scared. And they said that they didn't, they kept driving and they drug the man for 2 miles while he continued screaming. It ripped his arm or his leg off. And they said he jumped out in front of him. Well, it turns out that no, allegedly, they have the ambulance people hitting him, that he didn't allegedly jump out. And he died. He died in the hospital. And it's on video. And the family is just distraught. Geneva, I'm only about 2.5 hours away from that area. So I've really thought about covering it and going there. And so yeah, if you want to email me, but it's not getting the attention that it deserves. It's crazy. And I listen, I don't think for a second that the women in the ambulance did this on purpose. But you shouldn't have lied allegedly about that either, and just kept dragging him while he's screaming. Yeah, yeah. So, it's bad. It's bad.
And I just
Happened in
I
Elkview, West
given all that
Virginia.
to investigators.
It's horrible.
I've even offered investigators many times that sit down with investigators, the lead investigators and the social media team, and I said, let's sit down and you guys, shoot off as many questions as you can to me, and I'll try my
Okay.
best to.
I gotta move forward here to the next timestamp. Let me find it.
Was tough. So it's like I have to, live over the last year with not just seeing Lily and Jack, not seeing my other two biological children, and then only seeing Meadow supervised in a room.
Yeah, email me and
3 times a week. That has been by far the hardest things over the last year, right? Is it just everybody, I don't get to wake up to the kids anymore.
I think he's very manipulating here, in my opinion. But what, in my opinion, Daniel makes it seem like it's Malaya with the CPS here. And again, we have Daniel saying that his own kids told in him. And can I just say, let me just show you how manipulating Daniel is being to his audience here and those that believe him. Daniel, and I remember this very well, when Jack and Lily went missing, Malaya was able to be around Meadow until she screwed it up on her own accord. She screwed that up. But you could not be around any of them. That says a lot. Don't forget that, folks. Daniel could not be around Meadow even. Oh, yeah. Yes. Malaya could still be under the same residence as Meadow as long as it wasn't where you was at, Daniel, on that property. Love you, Miss Joyous. Love you, darling. So think about that. Think about that. So Daniel wanted to make it seem like, oh, it's Miss Malaya with the CPS. No bueno. He is manipulating to the nth degree right here. And that's exactly right as well. If Daniel was a safe parent, CPS would have placed Meadow with him. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. They ended up placing with Malaya's mom temporarily, but then Malaya screwed that up. So, in my opinion, that just shows you that, in my opinion, Miss Daniel was the most dangerous one. And then Malaya wasn't. She messed it up, and neither one of them. And that's just the truth, Daniel. But he makes it seem like, oh, I can't go into the CPS, situation, but I'll just, put this, casting this thing around Malaya about CPS. Do you think people forget this, Daniel?
I don't get to see them at night before they go to bed. It's tough.
And it's got to be night and day. And I can't relate to judge you for, for any of it. Did you ever meet Anita before the kids went missing, or did the kids ever meet her, to your knowledge? And I think that's well known that even Anita said she never met Dan.
I never met her before, and I don't remember. As all I know is I heard that she was Cindy's friend, and look on how can anybody be a friend with her? Just the critical thinking skill she has, and just the way she comes across.
She has been hanging on the door, I think. Can
Okay,
you
here we go.
clarify that? And then also,
Listen to this.
did Lily normally come in every morning? Is that something that
Listen to
normally
this.
happened if they weren't going to school, or if they were going to school?
Yeah, Lily would come in sometimes into the bedroom, like.
Yes. And that's a very good point, Bonnie. That's a very, very good point. Also, the courts are not enforcing the visitation with the biological kids, which also says a lot. Bingo. That shows, that says a lot, in my opinion. Now, he does allegedly still get to see Meadow. Thank you very much. We don't forget Daniel. That's right. Jack and Lilly. What did Deborah say? Well, Daniel, you should have thunk about that before. Yeah, I agree.
Look, I usually lay in bed with Meadow every morning when I don't have to work. And, it was common for Lily to.
Did it just go back? What the hell's going on?
Not if Malaya has given Jack and Lily children's melatonin before in the
Okay.
past,
Listen to this.
but
My thing is going nuts tonight. I don't know what's going.
there was none in the house recently, so she couldn't have.
Hold on.
Maybe 30 pounds, 40 pounds, maybe. But some like small, medium size. He's no pit bull.
Let me find it.
Tucker's bad for jumping up, but because he would jump up on my biological children as well, and he would jump up on them and he would almost knock them over. He's not a big dog. He's maybe 30 pounds, 40 pounds, maybe. But some like small, medium size.
Very good point as well, Magdalena. Very good point. Y'all are on fire tonight. I usually lay in bed with Meadow, not I laid in bed with Meadow Friday morning. He'll change that now, Magdalena. He's watching us. Oh, let me take notes on that one. That's the only thing you take notes on, Daniel, is to save your own ass.
He's no pit bull or mastiff or whatever people go on about. We didn't swap out a dog, or my mom never swapped out her dog. She had the same dog for like 5 years or 5.5 years.
Good to know. I
Mhm.
mean, some of the shit is just fucking ridiculous. Like you can't fix stupid, and you can't make sense of some of the ridiculous theories out there. Just a really quick yes or no, and then I actually have something to show you. Were the children ever drugged to go to sleep? Meaning, were they ever given children's Tylenol or anything like that to go to sleep at night?
Well, usually not. If
Ooh. Okay. Thank you, Brandy. He said he woke up at 6:22 a.m. when he got the confirmation email from the school. I think I remember that. I might even have a text message of that. Him saying that. He's such a liar. I don't think I have ever seen someone just lie as much as Daniel. He lies about his lies.
Malay has given Jack and Lily children's melatonin before in the past,
Okay, listen to this.
but there was none in the house recently, so she couldn't have gave them any drugs, nor is it a common thing
How do you know there wasn't any in the house recently? How do you know?
for Malaya to give them kids melatonin. So I think that's kind of taken off the table there.
Nothing's
I
taken
think
off
where
the
people
table,
were
right?
going with that is they think that Malaya drugged the kids.
Listen to this.
No one in the
I'm going to
house
show
was
some
ever
documents here.
drugged.
Thank you for that, Daniel.
Yep,
Are
it's a
you
natural
able to see the
hormone
screen? Like, I don't know
that
what you're
occurs in the
seeing.
Yeah,
brain.
I
Are
can.
you able to see
Yeah,
the
I
screen?
can.
Okay, so this question from Marie Antoinette: Can Daniel confirm what the children were wearing, because the flyer passed around shows a completely different outfit yet again? So, what do you think of this poster that was given to the searchers this time around? And do you have any comments on the clothing scene, the pull up? Is it remotely similar? Like, what do you think?
No,
Listen,
no. The only thing right on there is the boots and the backpack. That I can recall.
hey,
I'm not sure what
bud,
those pants have on them or
how you been, honey? Haven't
what
seen
they
you.
say on the side as a say. I'm not sure.
Now look at
And
I think that's the Under Armour logo on
uh,
sweatpants.
I do believe the black Under Armour pants, from what I recall, are in the bags of clothes that investigators came and got to bring to.
now. First of all, how would Daniel know the clothes that was already cleaned? JJ praying for you, baby. Oh, absolutely. How would Daniel know that these clothes were in the washed several bags of clothes of Jack and Lily whenever they were tied. Remember, Malaya didn't open them, right? Why is he searching through these clean bags of clothes, and how would he know he didn't do the laundry? Love you, Autumn. How would he know that? Yeah, there's kids' melatonin. Yeah. Yeah. Listen, I don't
They
know
went to
what is wrong with my keyboard tonight. Hold on, let me see something. Control F. Control C. Alt F.
Cheryl's house. That's what I'm aware of.
We're 152.15. Okay, listen to this.
They went to Cheryl's house. That's what I'm aware of.
Okay, listen to this.
Go on sweatpants.
I do believe the black Under Armour pants, from what I recall, are in the bags of clothes that investigators came and got to bring to. They went to Cheryl's house. That's what I'm aware of.
Such a lie.
And as it goes for
Listen to
Jack's
this.
description, Jack's dark navy spring windbreaker coat is missing. So that means that
Jack's spring windbreaker coat is missing. There was a coat that was missing, or not missing. Then he says it's missing. Then he says he found it. And then he says it's missing again. And then he says, that's not the coat I was talking about. It was a different coat. Not a chance. I don't know what's wrong with my computer tonight. I'm trying to pull up the receipts of Daniel saying I can't show you or I can't tell you what the kids are wearing, but they're not wearing what you think they're wearing.
Jack left the property with a navy blue spring jacket coat on. This is
How does he know that? How does he know Jack left with a navy blue coat on? Because Daniel said he wouldn't have been able to reach it. So someone had to put it on him before, because he wouldn't have been able to reach it where they hang the coats by the door. Justin, don't you have a pic of the green windbreaker hanging on the wall in the background of the Pickett home? I do, but I don't know if it's, I think it's my computer that's given me a fit. I can't pull anything up right now. It's screwing.
the solid navy blue spring windbreaker.
I want to show all
And
that stuff.
that's for 100% accurate.
Okay, so Daniel, never change that story, okay? That's one thing you've said is 100% accurate. Save that RCMP, which I'm sure that they did. Save that. That's 100% accurate, as if he knows exactly what the kids left in. Or Jack left in. You should be just as confused as everybody else, Daniel.
And does
And the
he
description
own
was
a
never
tan
changed
jacket?
on it. A tan jacket like that? No.
It was never
And
changed.
what about the boat?
So Daniel says 100% Jack was wearing this coat, but it was never changed. So Daniel is saying the description that Malaya and Daniel put out when they first went missing, that is on these flyers, are wrong. and they've never been changed. And he doesn't see a problem with that, apparently. What's that, Clint? What's that, Linda? Daniel claimed he was the one who took care of Lily and Jack. I did everything for the kids. Malaya didn't. So why is his ass laying in bed if he didn't know they were going to school? Yeah. Because he's a sack of shit. Oh, okay. Look at this. Daniel allegedly. Oh, that's bad. I don't know why people put that stuff in there. Mm. 1 second. Okay.
Colby sequin sweatshirt. Does that look familiar to you?
It does kind of look familiar, but I don't
Listen to what he says here.
know if that's what Lily left her 100% on. I mean, I have my suspicions that's probably what she left in, because, but also too, Lily's pink, she had a pink Justice Spring Breaker coat that was here. So we got all the kids new spring jackets. Jack's is missing, but Lily's remained.
Mm. How interesting.
And I always wondered why Lily
You're such a lion.
didn't have her jacket on, right? Because usually when one kid would put their jacket on or their boots, the other kid followed suit. And so if Lily put her boots on, Jack would put his boots on. If Jack put his jacket on, Lily would put her jacket on. But I was working on with Jack trying.
That's right. That's right, Green Eyes. You saw her come in the room multiple times, Daniel. And then Malaya says she saw Lily that morning.
To get him to learn how to zipper up his jacket. And he has done it before, but I don't see Jack taking his spring jacket and putting it on himself and then leaving, especially with the backsliding door sealed all the way shut. Most times the kids wouldn't do that. They would leave it open. And
Yeah, and you also said that
So that's what they wore on Thursday when they went to town. Well, I mean, I bet you those kids weren't changed since probably Monday. They slept in those clothes, put those plus those jackets too. They were with them all day on Thursday. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not the jacket, I don't think. What she left in, what Jack left in, what the children were wearing when they went missing is the normal answer. Yes. Yep. He exposes himself right there. Jack and Lily didn't leave on their own. They were taken, in my opinion.
the hook was, the hanger was for his
Yeah.
coat. Like he can't reach that, and there was no
No.
chair
Left.
pulled over. It's highly unlikely that a child would.
And
There
there you
was
go.
no-
There you go. Daniel said, and I'm glad Char said that. Daniel said Jack could not reach where the coats were hanging. Hold on. I don't believe that the kids were, well, we know that the kids weren't dressed. I mean, Wednesday would be the earliest they could have been dressed. Malaya, when she got home, she said she didn't feel like, you know, reaching into a fucking bag of clean clothes and changing her kids. Piece of garbage.
The chairs moved. There was
What sense does that make? I mean, seriously. Oh, the clothes were in a bag, so I didn't change them. I don't care if you got to go to a dresser or a bag or whatever. Reach in and get the fucking clothes and change them.
no signs of the kids were messing around in the kitchen. There was no food taken
Yes,
from the fridge. There was no food taken from the cupboards. All the chairs.
He initially said he heard Jack rustling in the kitchen. Now he says nothing was touched in the kitchen. Well, yes, Magdalena, he did say that. He said, but he kind of said the same thing at the same time. He said, I heard Jack rustling in the kitchen, but nothing was moved in there. Nothing was moved around or changed in there. So it's just all lies. It's just absolute lies.
Chairs were pushed in. It's just I still to this day I don't understand how
You completely understand.
they would have got that spring jacket on and Lily didn't take hers.
Again, you even DT said that you had told him this, that your theory was that like Malaya's mom came in the house and got the kids and took the kids out, and Jack couldn't have reached that jacket, so it would have had to been put on him. And that's what you're trying to imply here, that Jack couldn't have got that coat on, even though you said that it was missing, then it was found, now it's missing again, and that's 100% this time.
And that
But
leads down a rabbit hole of theories and speculation and conspiracies that I'd rather not dive into because I've already, made enough accusations. And as I said at the start of this, I think it's unjustified to do so after a year because investigators would have, questioned everybody on this. And maybe they do have something, maybe they don't. I don't know. I'm completely in the dark on most things, especially now where I feel that I'm not needed. And I've, had that feeling for a long time, but I still try to always say, do you have any questions for me? Do you need me?
Well, it's not that you're not needed, Daniel, because the truth is always needed. It's that what you say holds no value necessarily to the RCMP because you don't tell the truth. You don't tell the truth to what happened. So the RCMP just is they're doing it themselves. Right? If you're not going to tell them the truth, then they're just going to find out themselves. Period. Oh, Magdalena, you're very kind, honey. Thank you so much for gifting 3 coral necklaces. That's so sweet. Thank you so much, honey. Really do appreciate you. You're very kind to me, Miss Magdalena. Thank you so much for your support, my dear. If you received one of those, make sure you give our Magdalena a big, big thank you. Thank you for your support, my love. Um, Thank you, Lovey. If someone came into the backyard and onto the house, wouldn't Tucker have started barking? Well, yeah, he always barked for Jack and Lily, and like the media says, a dog that won't quit barking. That's their words. Yep. Everyone that was there says the dogs would not shut up. Even Janie says that.
I'm willing and ready to do everything. And
No, you're not.
yeah, it just seems like
Hey,
it's
Bo, good to see you, baby.
it's been a long road.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to ask you because we know that you don't know what Jack and Lily had for supper on Thursday night, but were there any leftovers for you? What did you eat for dinner on Thursday? Or did you?
To tell you the truth, I don't remember what I ate.
Yeah, ordinary day, right? You had Cracola Puffs. That's what you had, Daniel. You had Cocoa Puffs, but a different type of cocoa. That's what you had. Cracola Cocoa Puffs.
That's a memory I didn't save, I guess. Wasn't saved in the hard drive in my brain. But
Fair enough. Is it common for Malaya to
Lily and Jack definitely ate that night. I'm not going to say that they didn't because Malaya fed Lily and Jack.
How do you know? How do you know, Daniel? Because it was an ordinary day for you. You can't really remember from 8 p.m. to midnight, right? You say you thought they was awake, but Malaya said she put them in bed at, you thought that they were already asleep, rather. And Malaya says she puts them in bed. You can't remember anything, but you can remember they eat. Oh, we love Nietzsche. Thank you, Justini. Thank you so much. Nietzsche and I, we're going to do a live stream together soon. I need to email her. Damn, I got to email her.
was a common, and I don't mean any shade or any kind of
Oh
misogyny or
no.
anything, but did Malaya usually make dinner for the family, or was that just kind of a, she'd feed the kids and it was kind of fun for yourself? Like, how did that work? Which either way is fine, but I'm just curious.
No, I'll answer that. Malaya always made sure we had meals made. Like Malaya's a good cook. Like she knows what she's doing, and she always fed the kids, or the kids always had snacks. So, and yeah, I don't really have much to say on that. Malaya's not a terrible person. Like I always, like I'm not trying to portray Malaya as a terrible person. Like I'm not doing that. And because Malaya does a lot of stuff that's right. But I think, and we always as humans, we always make mistakes. Not everyone's perfect, and we always make mistakes when it comes to every facet of life.
Nobody's perfect. But we're not asking for perfection, Daniel. Nobody's asking for perfection. We're asking for honesty on a 4 and a 6-year-old. And we're asking for the basic necessities of a good and safe home for these children. You don't have to be born with a silver spoon in your mouth to be a good parent. You don't have to have a lot of money to be a good parent. You can have a lot of money and be a crappy parent.
Life, right? There's a huge spectrum of, being a perfect person to a terrible person. And Malaya doesn't fall at.
I don't believe good people neglect their kids. I don't believe good people lie on their missing kids.
The side of being a
So if you do that, I don't think you're a good person. We're from two different worlds.
terrible person. I just want to
That's
clarify that.
It's really good of you to say. So there's just a couple more questions that I want to hit, and I'm sorry, you guys, if I've missed anything. Like I said, I will go back and watch my replay, and I'll get questions, and I'll send them to Daniel. If he answers, he does. If not, then I mean, it is what it is. But trail hiker, was Malaya using drugs when she lived on the property? So, and I believe, and I don't want to, I won't answer for you, but I know you've answered that for me before.
I'll answer it. Yeah, Malaya smoked the shatter pens, and she didn't do it every day. She didn't, um, but that's important to talk about, that she did do drugs. She never, I never offered her like, because
Oh,
I do
was
her
muted.
drugs.
I was muted. Sorry. Section. Hold on. Okay. Section 20C3. They went to Ultramar in Millbrook to get gas, and she stopped to get a vape for Daniel at High Grade. At 3:18 p.m., she went to Access Nova Scotia in Truro Heights with Meadow to get a plate for her car. Daniel and the kids stayed at the grandmother's house. This is what's in the RCMP documents. They went to Ultra Mar in Millbrook to get gas and stopped to get a vape for Daniel at High Grade. That's before they went to Walmart. Boom, mother chicken. Again, I have a text message from Daniel if I could pull it up, but I can't right now because my computer's got a brain of its own tonight. Daniel says the only rugs that was at the house were Malaya's. Who cares, Daniel? I don't care if you smoke the high grade vape. I don't care if she smokes the high grade vape. I don't care. I don't smoke marijuana's THC or anything like that, but I don't care with people who do. That's like purified water in today's world. But again, Daniel is trying to make himself appear to be this white as snow. Oh, excuse me. I'm clean now. Excuse me. Oh, wait, no. I shouldn't have said that. I actually vape. And he's not even talking, he's just talking about nicotine. When in the documents, Daniel, the vape pen was for you. Again, why lie about something so simple? That's it. It's the math, and then the abuse, and then the neglect, and then obviously the kids missing, and the lies of the last year.
Or did her drugs. I never offered her any. I never, convinced.
I find that's very interesting how he says that, because Daniel only says something that is going to make him look good or something he can get ahead of. Yeah, like I said the other day, Anastasia, I did not inhale. But Daniel says, I did not offer Malaya, or I think he's going to say make Malaya do rugs. And if you have been watching this for probably the last hour, I was speaking about how the number one way of trafficking isn't getting someone in your car and locking them in. It is someone who gets the person on rugs and they keep them at the house, not because they're locked in, but because they're hooked on rugs. And Daniel says right here about, no, I did not make her or anything else. 159.55. Listen to this.
But that's important to talk about, that she did do drugs. She never, I never offered her, like, because I do her drugs.
You see, he was actually starting to be truthful there, but he catches himself. I, meaning Daniel, never offered her drugs. And then he says, I did hard drugs. And then listen to him right here. Yes. He can't. 159.49.
I'll answer it. Yeah, Malaya smoked
Exactly.
the shatter pens,
Matt Levy.
and she didn't do it every day. She didn't,
Listen.
But that's important to talk about, that she did do drugs. She never, I never.
She did do drugs. I believe him. And I'll be honest with you, the way Malaya looked at the search, it wouldn't surprise me right now if she was still on it. I hope she's clean, but the way she looked, but regardless, he says Malaya did rugs. Again, I've got text messages of him saying the only rugs on the property was Malaya's. Here he's saying, yeah, he does drugs, and but then he says he never offered her it. So if you were both doing rugs, someone's got to offer it, don't they?
Offered her, like, because I do her drugs, or did her drugs. I never offered her any.
You do. That was, you were on the, you were telling the truth, Daniel, and then you just got to lie. I do hard drugs. I did hard drugs. I never offered her any. You getting ahead of something, Daniel? He offered it to Taylor, right? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I never,
listen,
convinced her to ever do it. And I wouldn't.
I never convinced her to ever do it. Okay.
Never give her that, right? Because I know how
he would never give her that, even though she does drugs. He says, even though she does drugs, and he does drugs, but they would never do drugs together, right? Like two rug addicts don't do drugs together, right? That's ridiculous. two yeah, two rug addicts doing drugs together. Never happened. Come on. How does people believe him?
Detrimental hard drugs can be to some people. And I never
To some people, how detrimental hard drugs can be to some people. All people. Drugs are bad. Okay.
ever pushed that upon her. But she did smoke the shatter pens.
So it's very interesting how he wants to make it seem like, yes, she does it. I don't. I did the rugs. We, didn't do the rugs. I didn't force it on her. I never offered it to her. I never made her do it. I think, in my opinion, that we're going to come back to that little saying, what he said there, in due time. Stamp it, mark my words. She had money, her grandma's money. He thought he hit the jackpot, in my humble opinion. I know how I'd I mean, yeah, that was the resource. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Smokes the crack-a-methala in the bathroom, but don't vape. Don't vape in the house.
And that's, that's,
When mama smokes, baby chokes, right?
I've seen it with my own eyes. And
It's ridiculous, Dan.
no one can ever take that experience away from me that I did see it. So, yeah.
Right. And I think you also told me that those shatter pens, some of them are still at your
Yeah.
place. So it's not something that she packed and took when she left. And then for this question here, I don't know that Daniel's going to know the answer, but kind of a spin-off of this that you might be able to.
Absolutely. Hold on, what was it? Yeah, it's. I hope they get better.
Talk on
with
a
that.
little bit was, since it's been a year, so have you, those first, say, 24 hours that before Malaya left, did you ask her why she didn't get up that morning with the kids? Or, what would they normally eat for breakfast,
Listen,
maybe? Yeah, I don't know that you can actually say, why did nobody give them breakfast, or when was Jack's diapers last changed, but can you talk?
why did nobody change them? Why did nobody check on them through the night if they were sick? Why did nobody check on them early in the morning? Why did nobody give them medicine? Why, if they were actually sick, why did nobody change them? Why did nobody, uh, check on them to see if they could go to school or not that morning? There's just so many things.
About the normal stuff that they would do, and if you ever did get the chance or thought about asking Malaya why she didn't get up like she normally would?
I don't think I will, ever talk to Malaya again.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you talk to her or not again. Again, if you were laying with Lily, like you said you did every day on a non-work day, which you again said you worked on Friday, which is the day Jack and Lily went missing, but I digress. And you saw Lily coming in a couple times in the room, and Malaya, you say normally gets up with them, and you lay in bed with Meadow, the first thing you're going to do is say, why are you not getting up with the kids?
And I'll say that right now openly. And nor will I ever go to Malaya's community of Indian Brook, because I'm banned from there. I'm banned from that reserve. And if I step foot on it, I get arrested. But yeah, so I will never probably talk to Malaya again.
He messed up right here. Number one, speaking about Malaya. Number two, speaking about the stipulations.
And as it goes for like a normal morning, like the kids would have like either cereal, or they would have, because we have chickens, they would have, fresh eggs. And
I put in chat here. Since when does roosters lay eggs? I didn't know. They had a rooster.
And Jack's diaper last change, I usually lay in bed with, as I keep saying this, I lay in bed with Meadow, so Malaya would usually get up with the kids and she would change Jack's pull up. So just, because he would pee during the middle of the night, right? That's normal for.
Yes, it is normal. But you know what's not normal is not checking on your sick kids. That's not normal.
A 4-year-old kid or 5-year-old kid or 3-year-old kid. And so Malaya would get up with Jack and Lily and, change Jack's diaper and get them breakfast and get them off to school, or just get up with them in general on the week.
I would be surprised. I would, honest to God, be surprised if Jack even had a diaper on that night. I bet you that baby didn't even have a diaper. I bet you they didn't have any diapers.
Weekends.
Okay.
That would cost
Thank
money
you for
for the
that. And
cracolas.
then I think I'm gonna leave it at this, and then I'm gonna bring Melissa up. She's got a couple of questions for you, but what else can you share about?
I think it's like the overnight diapers in case they have accidents and stuff. But still, 4-year-old is
Jack and Lily. I've been
getting up
asking for
there.
months, and I know I don't ask you specifically because you said that you can't respond. So
Yeah,
I stopped.
you can buy
I
that.
started asking other people who I knew had contact with you. Can you please ask these questions? And I asked Sherry,
Jack's blue, Lily's pink.
Hold on.
ask these questions and ask.
This question's emotionally charged, we'll say, in a way, but yeah, I'll touch on it. I think everybody knows by now what their favorite colors were, right? Jack's blue, Lily's pink, or purple. And we can talk about their favorite TV shows. Like Lily liked watching, I don't know, a lot of kids like watching unboxings, and she would watch unboxings of like LOL dolls or Monster High, and she loved that stuff, or loves that stuff. I
Loved. You caught yourself.
People always say to me, you say,
Now, watch. He has to defend what he said when he said loved versus love, because he's so paranoid. The drones are watching. The drones are watching.
loved or did or had, or something that resembles in the past tense. in wording, and I don't mean to do that, but that's just the way I
No,
am.
you're right. You don't mean to do that because you would save your ass. And you just, like you're doing right now, you're trying to save your ass. But your brain naturally does that with the present and past tense, with the language that we speak. You're right. You don't mean to do that, but you do.
In the way I talk. So I hope people don't take offense to that, or, you know,
We do.
take, key in on those,
Certainly do.
my vocabulary that I use there.
Is shit.
But yeah, so Lily loved unboxings of, anything to do with toys. And Jack, his favorite shows were anything to do with dinosaurs. And I mean, he would sit down and for like, if you gave him,
His favorite shows were, not is, were. Got it, Daniel.
the TV and you put on,
You don't think, you think he's still alive. You say that you think Jack and Lily are still alive. So isn't that his favorite shows?
on dinosaurs on YouTube, he would sit there all day and he loves watching dinosaurs or anything to do with bugs as well.
He would sit there all day, not he will sit there all day. If you think he is alive in your mind, you would be using present tense.
But he mainly liked dinosaurs or
So
loves dinosaurs. That was his big thing.
ridiculous.
And bugs too as well, or insects. That was always his preferred show to watch. And sometimes they would fight over who would get the TV to watch their next show. And because Lily's like, I don't want to watch dinosaurs. Jack's like, I don't want to watch unboxings of LOL dolls. Or
that's how they lay it down. They are wound up so much that they're up for days until they have to crash.
Or Monster High or Rainbow High. And that caused conflict sometimes, but the kids, right? And you're not going to have two TVs in the living room, one with each different show on there. So they would take turns watching their shows, and right. And what was the other stuff there? Favorite games. I mean, there wasn't really. Yeah, favorite. Well, they really loved all kinds of different foods.
Loved all kinds of different foods. They don't love, they loved. They once loved, is what he's saying. Not they love food, but they once loved. Loved, past tense.
But it's if one didn't like it, the other one,
Love you, bye.
strayed away from it. But Lily was much more adventurous with food. I mean,
Yeah.
I would take like sauerkraut from the fridge and open up the jar, and
Because she was fucking hungry. That's why.
and Lily would just want to eat it with a fork. And so Lily wasn't much
hungry.
more adventurous with food.
When I heard that, to be honest with you, I mean, she might like sauerkraut, whatever, but I just thought that kid is hungry. That's what it was. She was fucking hungry. I can't even think too much of it, guys.
Compared to Jack. And like that's one of the key things I remember. Like they wouldn't eat like sardines or stuff like that. I mean, most kids don't. But yeah, they were really adventurous with food. Lily more so. And favorite games, like whenever came to outside time, we used to have a kitchen outside, like one of the toy kitchens, and both of them would make like mud pies or soups or with the mud and the water and throw rocks and grass in there. And they did a lot of that. or they would look for bugs. Like, and I see a lot of misconceptions I see
Go ahead and lie.
online. Like Lily loves bugs as well, and she would.
Well, that's very interesting because didn't you say, Daniel, that Lily was scared of bugs? Didn't Janie say Lily was terrified of bugs? But now it's a misconception. Jack loved bugs. He says Lily doesn't, or Lily loves bugs now. Daughter in the fridge. Yep. Yep. But Daniel said in one of the interviews, he said something like before, he's like, they're like best friends, but he said something like that. Jack like playing with bugs, but Lily
she would not hesitate to grab worms when she seen them. And Jack was much more adventurous than, Lily was with grabbing bugs and grabbing insects. Like I've watched them grab
he said, Janie said Lily would scream like when Jack would get bugs and stuff.
centipedes before, and
He's a girl.
he had no fear of bugs at all, and he just loved to going around the yard and collecting them.
Love.
Like he would have a whole variety in a bucket of everything he could find, and yeah, it was very happy and interesting. Like
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, I know no one else ever would.
Yes, I do, Brandy. Remember what Janie said about the kitchen? Lily wasn't allowed to play with it because it was for Daniel's bio daughter. And that thing was, I mean, when I was little, I had a play kitchen. And they were a big thing, like when I was a kid. But the one out there in the yard that they had, like that thing was janky, right? It was janky, but they said that was for Daniel's kids.
So I feel very grateful for the public to actually.
Oh, I used to wash dishes in those mofos and just sweat up a storm. I mean, it was a full day's housework in that kitchen. It was.
Listen to me and listen to that.
It was.
It's important to, like you said earlier, this is like a reality TV show for a lot of people, and I keep trying to humanize Jack and Lily, and even you and Janie and Malaya, and just understand that these are real people. This is
Now I don't like to play its kitchen as much as I used to. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to play its kitchen like I used to when I was little. It's just not the same. I don't know.
real lives that are being destroyed. These are real children who are missing. And so those details, well, has absolutely nothing to do with what happened to them and where they
But
could be.
Deborah, he says he did everything for them. He says he did everything for Jack and Lily. Everything.
It's important.
Jack and Lily would only come to him. Jack and Lily only listened to him. He did everything for Jack and Lily.
To realize that these are children who are innocent and probably just loving life and looking for the next fun thing to do day in and day out. But just really quickly, I'm going to pull Melissa up and I'm going to let her ask you a couple of questions, Daniel, because I'm about done going through those start questions. It's been over 2 hours and I thank you for your time, but for now I would like to hand it over to Melissa.
Hey, Daniel.
Hey, Melissa.
So I want to start off by saying, if you guys had a starred comment and it hasn't been answered, or you keep asking the same question over and over, hit replay because it was most likely already answered. Daniel, I don't want you to think I'm coming at you any kind of way, but I have a couple of questions that haven't been asked. When you first came on, you used the word grief in relation to how this last year has been. And Malaya did her interview. She used the word sorrow. When I hear those words, I think of death. I think of a loved one that's not coming back.
Pain and sorrow, those, but specifically sorrow.
That I know isn't coming back.
Grief.
Is that how you use those words, or does that?
I can understand maybe the word pain. I don't understand the word sorrow, and I certainly don't understand the word grief. Because grief is losing, right? Someone. Now, they are technically lost, and Daniel will use that the next time because he's watching me right now. But Daniel and Malaya say that's one thing that they both say that they agree on, is that they believe Jack and Lily are alive. RCMP said there was very slim chance that happened, or is that they're alive. They know that they're not alive.
That means something different to you, because I know those words have stuck out to a lot of people.
I think grief is just like another form of sadness.
You should be talking about the hope about finding Jack and Lily, about the hope of a reunification if you believe they are alive, not such pain and sorrow.
And that's what it was at the start, right? It was like
that you were going to bed,
going from having a family of 7
He's
to
always watching.
I wake up every day and it's just only me and the hamsters. So
just you and the rats.
Oh, it was a big life change, and that's where the sadness and grief came from, because it's just you go from one day of having a life, and I don't want to make this about myself, but go.
He doesn't want to make this about himself, y'all. He doesn't want. We see you another day. He doesn't want to make this about himself, even though it's all about you, Daniel, right? He says, and I do understand. See, he's talking about two different things. When the question was asked about the grief and the pain and the sorrow of Jack and Lily, but he's talking about the pain and the sorrow about the family not being there. I understand going from, a long-term girlfriend, Jack and Lily being there, and Meadow, and having it, that was your norm, even though you neglected the fuck out of them. But I digress. To it just being yourself. I understand that, but that's not what we're talking about here. That's what you're trying to make it sound like.
Go from having a life to basically picking up the shattered remains of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a pane of glass just shattered on the ground. And every time
thank you for your
that's
poetry.
what my life's been like for the last year. You just every time you pick up a piece of glass, it cuts your hand, so you're forced to drop the glass again. And
So
the pane of glass never gets repaired to its former beauty. All you see is the blood-stricken glass on the ground.
I understand what you mean. The grief or the sorrow of, not having what you once had. I can understand that. So was it normal for Lily to get up and tell Jackie Boyd, hey, let's get ready for school, or we're going to school today?
I thought this
or
was a great question.
anything like that, and to take him to the end of the driveway, or was always
No.
you or Malaya up for that?
No.
So, from what I understand, Jack and Lily did not like to get up of the morning with school. And I've heard there was 2 very immature adults that were just as cranky of the morning getting those kids to school. And it was a fight, and it was a battle. And it was really some people are cranky of the morning. I'm not a morning person per se myself. But they didn't have the routine, right? They didn't have the sleep of when they're going to bed at 11 o'clock and midnight and all of this. And they're having to get up at 6:30 of the morning. And it's not like they had the routine. They're, at that age, kids will play until they pass out, till they just wear themselves out. So, of course, it's going to be a fight of the morning because they want the sleep. Man, crazy.
The kids never left the house ever in the morning.
Very good way
The
of
kids
saying it,
never left
crazy.
the house,
Very good
and
way.
the kids wouldn't never attempt to run away when I was there. And
I'm going to tell you something. With living in that house of horrors, you couldn't blame anybody for running away. You couldn't fucking blame anybody for wanting to run away from that hellhole.
And that's why it says in the documents that Malaya said that the kids had a voice, that I had a voice that they listened to.
Yeah, because they were scared shitless of you. Yeah. Yeah. The flinching. Remember what Wade said? The flinching.
And, because they did listen to me. And,
I bet.
And
if they didn't listen to you, what would happen, Daniel?
It was never, the kids never, they ran away with, Jack ran away once with Malaya. And,
he's lying there. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's, never mind.
Malaya did eventually find him after like 20 minutes. And
now, is that the time that he
see the documents
supposedly
on that.
ran away and they found him outside of a school or something or other?
Yeah, there's actually a police report done on that as well. And yeah, he ran away from 20 minutes.
Show it.
When we lived at Patty's house, I was at work and Malaya called me and said that, Jack ran away. And she...
Right. Another day, another dollar. Actually, when you think about it, the kids wondering misadventure can't be true. According to Daniel, never when he was around, in my opinion, scared stiff. Not only that, remember, he was just the absolute perfect. They listened to him. He was the one that always watched them. All that.
Eventually, a staff member at the school stopped Jack because he made it to the other side of the soccer field by the school. And law enforcement was called. And
okay, I want you to think about this because I don't believe this. And I've still yet to see the report. And let's say it is true. Nobody has ever brought this up. Jack was 4 years old. 4 years old. He was at where he went missing from at Daniel's house for 3 years. Okay, so you're telling me the 1-year-old, like Daniel is saying, Jack would have had to have been 1 year old. He went from the house to a school football field at 1 year old, and Malaya didn't notice. Do you know how long it's going to take for a 1 year old to get out of the house to a school football field and she not notice? So listen, prove me wrong. Get that report and put it out. He was 2. Okay, where's the report? Again, regardless, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. 2 years old. How what what the hell are you watching your 2-year-old? How long do you keep your eye off your 2-year-old? And if he ever did this before, why are we not setting locks and stuff in place? Any kids who wonder normally wonder. You know what I mean? They're either wanderers or they're not. If he's a wanderer, why haven't you got, you know, things in place? I had the chain, I had them installed at the top of my door so they couldn't reach to it, to the in and out doors when my kids were little. I had the thing over a doorknob, and then under that, if that thing fell off, I was a psycho parent because I just was very protective. Over that, I had a thing that wrapped around the doorknob, and it was this little box. And if they touched the doorknob, let alone open it, if they touched the doorknob, an alarm would go off. A very loud alarm. And the thing ate up batteries, but that's a whole other story. If they touched the doorknob, it would go off. You can't set a fucking lock, Malaya, if Jack got out before. Who called the police? Yeah. Yeah, at Patty's house.
If that family member.
And you know something, I think I did make a mistake because they were together 3 years. They didn't live there 3 years. Brian's right. I was just thinking about that. They were together 3 years. They didn't live at that house 3 years.
Never would have.
You're right.
I mean, if that
They were at
school,
Patty's. Exactly. Yeah.
like staff member would have never stopped Jack from that running across that soccer field, he got to the other end of it. He would have went into the woods. So, forever grateful for that school.
I mean, listen, you can kids are clever, you know, and things like that, and you can set things in place and accidents can still happen. You know what I mean? But you've got to, even if they don't like run, you know, they're not wonders or anything. Thankfully, mine never were. But you've got to set some things in place, some safety precautions in place. You know, when my kids were infants with the, you know, I was terrified of, God, heaven forbid, SIDS or anything like that. I had this thing that clipped on their diaper that checked their micro movements. If like the the baby wasn't breathing. It checked the micro movements. It would buzz because in SIDS they think that they might just forget to breathe, and it would buzz like that to shake him. So they would like that, and if that didn't, God forbid, work, then an alarm would go off. I had that clipped to their diaper, and then I had a pad underneath of them that checked their micro movements too. Like, I go way over extreme, but I just think you can never be too safe enough. But like, damn, man, not everyone has that. I understand that, but do something. These are your kids.
School staff member. I don't know who they are, but
There's
they
like 5 minutes
did a
of this
great act
left.
that day.
I just want to finish this.
So,
So
as
I don't have
far
a
as the
part 3.
kids' scent goes, is it true that the kids' scent was followed by
Hey,
a scent
Brian.
with a scent dog to the end of the driveway, or is that just something that has been passed along? Can you talk about
Oh yeah, Deborah.
where the scent dogs tracked the kids?
There was 7 search dogs.
I showed you the message the other day where Daniel said there has been that the search dogs was costing $1 million a day for Jack and Lilly.
That went through the property. I mean, every kind of dog you can imagine. And
yeah, Anastasia.
That,
all you got,
as far as I know, I wasn't here for most of the time, right? I was searching. So
that's one thing that he's kept pretty consistent is the first day he wasn't really around. He says he was searching. You were avoiding the RCMP and the family like the plague, Daniel.
I don't know if that's what actually happened. I mean, I only can continue to spread that rumor because I don't know where I heard it from. I don't know, who said it, or did a search member say it, or the dog handlers. I don't know. But the driveway's not very long, so maybe the dogs did come down into the yard and track to the end of the driveway. But I don't, and I may have repeated that. I'm sorry if I did, but there was so many scents in the yard and in the driveway. I don't believe that to be possible. And due to the fact that I'll explain how search dogs work. The way search dog works, and this was told to me by Commander of Operations of Search and Rescue. So they have the most knowledge on every aspect of how a search is conducted, followed through, and how they use the technology to search. Search dogs, the way they work is they go into an environment where they detect scents that either linger in the air.
There is scent specific dogs. There is dogs that smell the air. There's different types of search dogs. I explained this in the chat.
Or they linger to an object or item.
Listen to what he says here.
And they can detect detect odors that are not natural to the environment. So say if you walked out into the woods, Melissa, that dog is able to search down and detect you because your smell is not natural to the woodland or forest or that environment. And they're attracted to that.
To humanity.
Well, they also go off the most recent scent, but were they scent specific? Were they tracking Jack and Lilly scent specifically? Like, did they have a piece of clothing that they, got the scent from and tracked specifically Jack and Lilly, or no?
Commander of Operations assured me that what you just described, that's how they do it in movies.
He's so fucking dumb. Melissa just asked him here, was it scent specific? The commander said, no, that's only done in movies. I'm telling you, Daniel, in my opinion, the best part of you ran down your mother's leg.
In real life, the way they do it is based on what I just said. They put the dogs into an environment and they search for any scent that's not natural to that environment, right? So the natural scents that would be out in a forest area would be trees, leaves, leaf decaying matter, plants, flowers, and animals that live in that environment because the animals leave their scent. And so you can't just give a dog clothes and they go off that scent and detect.
Do you hear him? He says you can't just give a dog clothes and they go off that specific scent. He said that. He said it. I don't even have words for how dumb he sounds right now. Yeah. I don't even have words.
What they're trying to.
Yeah. It's not like you can say, get the shoes and say, they give it to the dog and this is the scent we're looking for. And they track them, Daniel, or they follow. Okay.
Find because they're only trained to detect scents in an area that's not natural to the environment.
Did the kids have a normal bedtime routine? Like brushing their teeth, taking a bath?
No.
Yeah, Malaya.
No. You don't have a routine. If you don't have a routine, Malaya don't have a routine, the kids don't have a routine. Because you have to have a routine for the kids to have a routine. For the kids to have a routine, you have to have a routine.
Would brush their teeth and they would brush their teeth and they would take a bath first or sometimes shower, right?
You couldn't even get Malaya to reach in the bag of clean clothes to change her kids. Remember, she did clothes every 6 weeks. Like I say, whether she needed to or not.
Jack loved going in the shower and he liked the water coming down on his face. He loved that so much. And he used to have so much fun in the shower. And yeah, he just loved the water coming down his face. So the shower he loved or loved. I know a lot of people pick on me for the past tense, so
Yeah, we know,
I like to always clarify that after I say it. But yeah, they had a routine, sometimes different times. Sometimes it would be 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and
once a week if you're lucky.
But it was never like you stay up as late as you want. Nothing like that on school days or anything like that. Sometimes they would stay up later. They would stay up to like 9 or something like that on the weekends, right? When they're not in school. But there's been lots of times they go to bed at 6 or 6:30, right? If we're out during the day and we get home and they're really tired, they would go to bed earlier.
If those kids go to bed at 6 or 6:30, those kids are going to be they're going to be waking up in the middle
Melissa,
of
I'm going to run and plug in my phone here, or I'm going to run and grab my charger. So
all right, guys. Boy, I have just never seen I mean, I agree with him when he says he smoked the mathematics every day. He certainly had to, because listen to him. It's bad. It's bad. And I was listening to was it Shar? I think it was Shar. 1 second. Yeah, and there was no okay, this is another thing. There was no toilet in Janie's camper. She used a bucket. She uses a bucket. Daniel and Malaya, or sorry, not Malaya. Forgive me for that one, Malaya. Daniel and Justin, you two should absolutely be ashamed for allowing your mother to be living like that. And this is the thing that kind of pisses me off about Janie. Janie says, you know, she just let Malaya and Daniel do their own thing. Janie was in that trailer all day, every day. Still is. It's hers. Good for her. But why are you lying? Why are you lying about that, Janie? Janie was getting backed into a corner. Well, I mean, this is the thing. She allowed Daniel and Malaya to move there. They didn't even pay rent. That's right, greenhouse. I just cannot imagine. It's just amazing to me that little camper in Nova Scotia of the winter, fucking wood stove coming out of the window with stuff around it, and your mom like getting up there using a bucket. I don't know, Brandy. It makes me want to, I don't know. I don't know if you could live that way and not be on something. Because I would have to be on something to live that way. Like I would. I forgive my Lord. But I would have to. I mean, I feel bad for Janie in that aspect. I always have. I can't imagine letting your mother live like that and being okay with it and then wrecking her fucking car. And Janie, I mean, she defends Daniel. That's your son, I get it, but damn. Everything, in my opinion, every one that Daniel has been around, he does not make their existence easier. Doesn't matter if it's the kids, his mother, in my opinion, his family. He's going to drain you financially, emotionally, You go missing. And they still take up for him. They still take up for him. They enable him. And to be honest with you, I don't think Malaya is much better, because she was perceived as this wilting flower. There's no bathroom stickler. Yeah, I agree, Tammy. I agree. But there's got to be enabling anyone, whether it's your kid, your spouse, your mother. It doesn't get them out of it. It keeps them there. It keeps them where they're at when you enable. So at the very minimum, you've got to rip that Band-Aid off and be like, you're fucked up right now. Like, I'm not going to support this. And so you're either going to change, or I'm going to do what's right. It's painful, especially if it's your kid. It's painful. But also just keeping them in the same spot, they're never going to grow. And they're never going to change. And they're just going to keep on keeping on. Yeah. I think Janie, like, I know Janie snaps at Daniel back. I do know that. Because I've got recordings that I've never put out. But I do think Janie, at the end of the day, doesn't want to either deal with it or is scared. Of him. Especially when he's out of his mind. Yeah. But what I think Janie is doing, I think she blames Malaya for a lot of it. And it's just that she's angry at Daniel. And I think she misplaces where she's at. She thinks where she's at right now, she misplaces that for all of Malaya. Well, we wouldn't be in this situation if it wasn't for you. And some of that might be true. But this is your son. And look at what he's doing. Yeah. All right, guys, I got to go to bed. It's 12:30. My God. Okay. I love you guys. Appreciate you. I'll see you guys, Lord willing, tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if it's going to be pretty tomorrow. I want to go for a walk and do a live stream with Pearl soon. All right, guys, get some rest. Take good care of yourselves. Hug your loved ones. You only get so many trips around the sun. Good night. God bless.